Welcome to Corpse Club, the official podcast of dailydead.com. I'm one of your co-hosts, Jonathan James, and I am joined today by Scott Drebit and Tamika Jones. We are back. It's 2022. We were looking at 2021 last week, talking about some of our favorites. And this episode, it's all going to be about the year ahead. You know, I was just talking to Scott before we started and Tamika before we started recording, and, just really saying how 2021 is going to go down as like a banner year for genre releases. It's one of those things where, I had my top 10 favorites and I easily could have doubled that list. I know Heather said something similar where she had to change the format of her list because there was just so many great releases, including some stuff we didn't have a chance to catch up on. And as we, started taking a look at what's coming out in 2022, I mean, it looks like it's going to be just as packed. And so we're going to talk about some of the things that we're looking forward to. In some cases, some of these things you may, definitely know about. Some of these things you may not be aware are coming out. And the goal is hopefully we'll put a couple of releases on your radar. You'll hear why we're so excited about them. And so we're going to go around the virtual room. But before we do that, I do want to definitely, call out that, things are obviously still, pretty scary out there as far as COVID goes here in the United States. We're kind of at a period of all-time infections per day. And so, we definitely want to, wish our listeners and their families the best. We know that it's not easy out there. It's difficult, for all of us as well. It's been, the last, 2 years have taken a toll on everybody. And hopefully we can, like I said, provide you with some entertainment and give you some picks while also, like I said, just understanding that, we're cautiously optimistic that we'll see them because, of course, with a lot of changes, maybe, dates will move out because of the changes with VOD and theatrical releases. Some movies we wanted to see last year, we're going to end up seeing this year. And so we'll provide some dates and some times and those may switch. But anyway, like I said, we wish, all of our listeners and their families the best throughout this year. And so I'm going to turn it over to Scott. And, like I said, we're going to. Yeah, it's you. It's you, Scott. You're, what do you call it?
Scotty Poo?
Yeah, Scotty Poo is his nickname. Thank you, Tamika. I don't think we've actually said it on the episode.
No,
but
that's a
but
first.
Tamika, yeah, it is a first, but Tamika does call Scott Scotty Poo. So
that's a true story.
It is a true story.
Welcome to 2022. Okay. Now, everyone out there, I want you to go get a pen or a pencil and a piece of paper because you have some work to do. The movie I'm going to talk about coming out February 18th, 2022 on Netflix is called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Chainsaw being one word. Not to be confused with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre from 1974. Not to be confused with Texas Chainsaw 3D from 2013. One word. The point I'm trying to make here is let's come up with some original titles. Can we, people? Anyway, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, class of 22, was certainly welcome to me. I welcome every single Texas Chainsaw Massacre entry because I think as a series, it holds together about as well as glue and water. But that's, I think, kind of the perverse joy about them is it's every time that they go up to bat, you hope that they really hit it out of the park. And this one stands as good a chance as any, I think. It was shepherded by Fede Alvarez. He came up with the story. Directed by David Blue Garcia, who is most well known as a cinematographer. And I've seen one of the movies that he shot, Bloodfest, from 2018, and he's got a good eye and he's not afraid of blood. So what they're doing with this Texas Chainsaw Massacre is they're basically going the Halloween legacy route. This is a direct sequel to the first movie. We even have the return of Sally Hardesty, who unfortunately could not be portrayed by the original actress, but nevertheless should be a compelling presence. And hey, I can't predict with any of these Texas Chainsaw movies how they're going to be. You just look at the people involved, and they roll the jujubes around in their bag and they roll them out, and hopefully it comes up well. I'm rooting for it. I'm always rooting for it. So that's my first pick.
I now that I know way more about the premise, I know this is so predictable, but this is making me so hyped for this. Like, it's coming out in February, and Fede Alvarez, Fede, is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, Fede Alvarez. Yeah, he came up with. He didn't write the screenplay. He first time screenwriter. Chris Devlin did the screenplay, but he co-wrote the story. Yeah.
Still, that gets me so hyped now. Like, okay, February 18th. That's like a little over a month from now. This is coming out, and we're gonna get Sally. Okay, but this is gonna be in the however many years into the future, right?
50. It's 50. It takes place 50 years after the original events. So okay. Close enough.
Right. 48. I was counting in my mind quickly, but math is power. Oh, wow. Okay. I love that you brought up all the sequels and how all of them are very different from each other. And
oh yeah.
Like the storyline is all over the place. So this will be nice. So it's like directly after the first movie.
I mean, I don't think it'll necessarily, lend a sense of weight to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, mythos or anything. I'm just hoping for a good time. I just think it's so naturally built in. With Texas Chainsaw Massacre is you just inevitably end up comparing it to the first one or the second one. Those are my kind of two poles of the different styles that we got going on. Well, that and the Bay produced 2003 remake. Those are kind of the three styles. Oh, Leatherface, as it were. This could be a totally different one. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is one of those that it doesn't impact me like one way or another. This is kind of like with the Halloween sequels, where like they're not precious enough to me that like they could keep releasing movies. They can I don't know, they can release another Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or they could call it Texas Chainsaw Massacres, and I'd be like, oh, well, I guess maybe I'll see this if it's, people say it's good. But that being said, I mean, I always hold out hope, right? You have a new creative team, but yeah, I always wish people the best when they're putting together a movie. And I think for me, it's just, can you do something with the characters that's fun? I'm not. We kind of know what to expect somewhat from Leatherface, and from these types of movies, but can you make characters that we care about? And I think that's usually what separates a good movie from not a good movie. So yeah, I'll be checking this out on February 18th. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, especially because I feel like the creatives involved are really good with characters, and I mean, Fede's already done the big franchise that's, gone on a long time and is, kind of, I hate using this word, but kind of like iconic or legendary, in the genre and in the horror genre. And I didn't think he did a bad job with the Evil Dead remake or requel or whatever you would like to call that.
I mean, I
Yeah.
love the Evil Dead, the
yeah.
new Evil Dead movie.
hmm Yeah, I mean, that could have gone a lot of ways. That could have gone so many not good ways. So that to me makes me feel like hopeful. Like, oh, this might actually be pretty freaking like gory too. Like he really he does gore. Ooh, like well. So I can't even imagine like what shenanigans are gonna happen. And I'm just happy it's not in 3D. But to be fair, I think the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D. I mean, that was like at the time that was so popular. I mean, they were releasing everything in 3D. So I think now that that's died down, at least it won't be. It can't be as gimmicky as that, you know. A high bar.
Do your thing, cuz.
Yeah, yeah, and no Trey songs. So yeah, are there any like not that it matters, you know, because everybody needs a good break. But are there any like quote unquote like big names like in the cast?
That's a good question. I know that Elsie Fisher is in it. She's from 8th grade.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm excited for her. I mean, I really enjoyed 8th grade, and her performance was great. Obviously,
Okay. See? All right. So we've got
Alice
some
Krieg headlines. Alice
Mm.
Krieg from Ghost Story,
yeah, yeah.
Sleepwalkers.
Star Trek: First Contact,
There you go.
Silent Hill. Come on, you know I'm going to bring up the sci-fi. That's the first thing I think of is her as the Borg queen.
No, but it's just funny. You're like Star Trek, First Contact.
Yeah.
He's got to get that sci-fi in there. God bless him.
Yeah. Yes. No,
Yeah,
that's
when
funny.
when I created Daily Dead and Corpse Club, I set out to make sure that everyone knew from the names that sci-fi would be included in our coverage.
Good call.
Yeah.
Good call. Worked out well.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. And you get a First Contact shout out. Come on.
Yeah, I mean there's some horrific stuff in there. There's where they're like they are chopping up some of the Enterprise crew members to turn them into the Borg.
They're just red shirts. Doesn't matter.
I don't know if all of them were red. I'd have to go back.
No, you do that.
I'll count.
You go back and I'll cheer you on.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We're gonna all do that for you. Yeah,
Totally.
okay. Yes,
Totally.
Get some good acting going.
Yeah, so I mean we'll within a month we'll be watching this.
Okay, enough First Contact and sci-fi. Tamika, get us back on the horror trail, would you?
Okay. Although Star Trek, we could talk about Deep Space Nine if you
See, there you go. It's too late, Scott.
All right, I'm logging off. I'm out. Good night, everyone.
No, come back. Okay, Scream 5. Can we talk about that?
We can. Yeah, we can talk about it.
I'm going to see it in mere days.
I'm so jealous of that.
I mean, we could be shut down by then, but as it stands, we will be going to our double vaxxed, partitioned, masked theater. So it's spread out and as safe can be. If it shuts down before I get a chance to see it, so be it. I'm not going to cry about it, but it is my birthday this weekend, so
yeah.
I am in a
happy early birthday.
Thank you. And a Scream movie is coming out on my birthday weekend, so that's right. I have birthday weekends. I'm 6, and I'm going to go see it if I can. So.
By the way, I didn't mean that you are a 6-year-old. I was agreeing with the birthday weekend.
No, that's okay. I mean, you can agree with that part too.
I mean, you already call me Scotty Poo, so
this is true.
But to be fair to me, Brian was the one who agreed.
How is that to be fair to you? I've never heard anyone say that. Well, to be fair to me, if I could be impartial here,
of me calling you that
if I could be
because
impartial here
Brian
about
sanctioned
myself
it.
for one moment.
No, it's with love.
Okay. Anyway, I will let you talk about Scream. I just want to say that I've heard nothing but fab things so far from people that we know or respect or even love, who've seen it,
including
so far.
Yeah, Heather gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
In her review on Daily Dead.
Yeah, Heather and lots of other fine folk are going gaga over it. So yeah, I'm totally pumped.
Oh yeah. And like I feel like normally what I would say is when you do the like new killer, like younger cast, I kind of like, I don't know, I'm okay with it, but there's a part in my soul, I'm not gonna lie, that I think wilts. It's like, oh. But I feel like with a franchise like Scream, it makes sense because it's so meta, you know? So I feel like, okay, so we're gonna do the fresh young blood cast. We're gonna do a new ghost face. Now, obviously, I don't know very much about like the premise because I try to like keep all of that you know like like limited until I see it. So I could be completely wrong. But about the killer and all of it, and who the killer is and stuff. But
Do you have an exclusive?
no, no exclusive. Exclusive. I'm way late on virtually everything these days.
Well, no, that's good. I'm glad you don't have an exclusive on that. That would be
Yeah.
terrifying.
Although I did hear that the killer is on the poster, but that's because it says on the poster that the killer is on the poster.
Yeah,
and
you
also they show Ghostface on the poster, so they could be throwing us off and just saying that Ghostface is on the poster and the killer is not
I
one
didn't
of the
think
people
of that.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I thought of that. It was like, oh, the killer is on the poster.
Yeah, I'm like,
So I
well, of
thought
course,
about
because
it.
Ghostface is there,
It's
so
on
they
the
could.
frickin' poster.
Yeah.
Also, I'm pretty sure it's not a legal binding document, so they could also just be lying straight up.
Well, I mean, either way, they're covered now because
Right.
Ghostface is on it. So yeah, I actually kind of hope that's the case.
Do you know what? We're like arguing a legal case here for Ghostface versus Leatherface. 1990. That's
Yeah.
what it sounds like.
Yep.
And to me, that's so on brand for the franchise to do that. That's why I was like so pumped from the beginning. I saw that poster and I was like, oh yes. And I don't know if I'm in the minority, but I think I might be. But I really enjoyed Scream 4. I saw that in theaters.
Oh yeah.
And yeah.
Same.
Yeah. So I feel like it's, a very consistent franchise, at least to me, minus 3. I don't even mind 3, honestly.
It's a good franchise. Listen, if they get, and well, they do give out awards, but the marketing department for this movie deserves every accolade that can be given out there for the way they've handled this movie. Now, if you click like on any tweet that has the Scream hashtag, it before it turns into a heart, a knife slashes across it.
Yeah, I heard about that, but I was late to the game there, so I got to try it again. I'm assuming they're going to keep it live during the
not for me, not up here in Canada, but because I tried it on about 5 different people on Twitter and it didn't work for me.
Yeah, I heard it was working last night, and of course, as our listeners are listening to this, it's going to be out already for you. So hopefully the it'll be working across Twitter. I assume they'll be going for that 24 hours. Unfortunately, I'm staying bubbled. So I will not be able to see it. I know there are a number of people who are listening who are going to be in similar situations. So the best I can do is hope that nobody spoils the ending, and hopefully Paramount will release it. And hopefully Paramount's going to release it on VOD. That being said, I did want to suggest, and I know Heather mentioned, a number of other people mentioned, if you got a drive-in and you don't, and you want to see it before getting spoiled, drive-in's an option. I know it's kind of too cold over here where I am. The drive-in's not back open, so not an option for me, but for those who are living in warmer climates, that might be your best opportunity, even if it's a little bit of a drive, to go see Scream if you don't want to go see it with other people.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
The drive-in, hey? To the rescue once again.
Exactly. Yeah, we had a good time at the drive-in. We saw a couple movies there, but yeah, they're seasonal up in New York. But yeah, I mean, I'm super excited for this. I mean, honestly, I like Scream 4 a lot. I know a lot of people have been, kind of reassessing it these days. But when I saw it, I saw it when it first came out. I gave it a decent review. I thought it was a lot of fun. They did bring in the younger cast, and I thought they pulled it off. So. Yeah, I'm on board for whatever they're going to do here. I keep saying this. It must be like a slasher type thing with me, but like I love the first Scream. And then, 2, 3, and 4, I haven't seen that often, and I'll watch the first one over and over again. I really feel like before I see the new one, I will rewatch. I'll rewatch all of them because it's been a while. I haven't seen 4 since it came out on Blu-ray.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, especially 3, it just hits you in those like early 2000s feels. Because I mean, just like from the hair and the clothes and the music, it's like, oh, this was made in the year 2000.
That's where Creed's on that whole soundtrack, right? That's Scream 3. Yep. Mm-hmm.
One of many superb artistic choices on that film. Scream 3 is final. Here's the thing. The only one that I actually don't actively watch is the first one, just because I've seen it, like so many times. And was a very early cheerleader of it. Yes, that's right. I'm responsible for its box office success. No, I just mean when it came out, I was like, this is so great. And I was always showing the videotape to people. So I've seen it so many times, but 2, I always get such a big kick out of. 3 is, other than who the killer is, 3 is fun. 4 is like, an update of 1.
Of 1, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like in a good way. And this has the radio silence guys doing it, like exciting stuff. I'm pumped.
Okay, so do we think that there's going to be finally, but not finally because I don't like the cast, because I love the cast. And it's one of the few franchises where most of the cast stays except for Randy. Justice for Randy. And Billy, but well, like it's Stu. Yeah, Stu. But anyway, like it's one of the few franchises where like most of the cast stays intact, And I just got to know, do we think that anyone from the main cast will actually die this time?
Do we?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said? Do we think?
Yeah.
Are you saying Dewey's going to die?
Uh-huh.
I thought that's what you were doing. I thought you were getting
it was a great pun.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was accidental.
But it was just be like, no, I planned it the whole time. Yeah.
Okay, claimed.
Dibs.
Yeah, I mean, I think you need some stakes in this, and especially if this is not the last movie, right? And now, like I said, we got new directors, new blood. I would imagine that they're planning for a trilogy of new movies, they have to at least thought about it. I don't know how this is going to end. I know very little about this movie, right? But if I had multiple movies in mind, I want them to go somewhere. I want some emotional punch. And so you can't, your main cast, they can't all be safe every movie. And so we'll see what they do.
What?
Oh, Jonathan.
That was an amazing non-answer. They're going to off Dewey.
Non-answer.
I don't think I had to pick. I think the question was just, are they going to kill someone? And that's like, I'm saying yes.
She wants tea. She wasn't.
Yeah,
she wanted the tea. I'll give you the tea. Okay, let's go. It's going to be Dewey.
Okay, so why Dewey though?
It's going to be Dewey because don't forget in Scream 2, Dewey originally dies and test audiences hated that idea. So they let him live.
And I think test audiences would hate it again.
I think it's
You
time.
think? That's right. And then
well, the only other option is Gail. Then.
Whoa, Gail.
Well, yeah.
Gail Weathers.
Well, then the only other option is Sydney.
No, I would.
Tamika. It's not going to be Sydney.
I would kill Judy.
Well, no, she's going anyway. She's not one of the main characters.
But I'm saying that I'm you know what? And maybe there's some people out there that are like, what are you talking about, Scott? I mean, that's where I would start.
Let's go. Bring it, people.
We're only in movie.
Where are you?
We're only in movie 1. Like that's who I would kill.
Judy?
That's my guess. That's if I had to put money on it.
She's going anyway. That's low stakes. Are you saying because it's movie 1, it's low stakes?
That's what I'm saying, that they're going to play it safe. It's a safe bet, but also I think they're going to bet safe.
Oh, please, come on, Scream. Come on, Scream. Don't do that to me. Because also they always have like a major, death. Like, because the movie within the movie, they have like a cameo or something and they do like some major death and it's like awesome. But this time I hope that it's not a movie within a movie, that it's like real and they actually like kill Gail, but it's got to be somebody, Gail or Sid, something.
Oh no, they're in the main movie. They're like in the main movie, the three of them. I promise you. So they're not getting off.
I think they're safe. I think you get rid of one of them in the second movie.
Oh, okay.
I'm not so sure about that. I think Gail's gonna go. Judy's gonna go for sure. I think Judy's gonna go early. And then I think and then Gail doesn't survive. And
the thing is, you're gonna know this by the time this episode comes out, Scott, or shortly after.
Or shortly thereafter, you bet.
Yep.
Yes, I am.
You are.
I am. True story. Good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
Either just send me money or just request or just send me an invoice.
Oh man.
Don't tell me what happens exactly, but yeah, this way I'll know. Okay. Well, we have that. Like I said, it's coming out soon. Obviously, it'll be out for people who are listening to it. Hopefully, VOD release is going to be the new norm. Is like 4 to 6 weeks. I mean, that's the minimum. I think is 4 weeks that a lot of studios worked out. I know Warner Brothers is doing 4 weeks after. So I anticipate that that's the earliest we're going to see it from Paramount.
Depending on how it does too, right? I mean, that could make a difference either way.
Yeah, if it does really well and theaters stay open, then it may take longer. It's like with Spider-Man, right? They're not going to move that to VOD right now because it's still making huge money overseas and in the States. So anyway, we'll see, but I hope I get to see it soon. Okay, and we'll move on to my pick, which is something I just saw the trailer for. It just came out this week. Ty West is back with X, and as the letter X, and it's coming from A24. It's going to be released on March 18th, And it's interesting because Scott and I were talking about this a little bit before, but I feel like the types of movies that Ty West was doing are movies that people call like quote unquote A24 movies. He was doing it before there was an A24 pushing that stuff out. So it's exciting to see that he's got a new movie, that he's got a new horror movie, and yeah, it looks great. It's about a film crew that goes to shoot an adult movie, and yeah, they have an elderly couple that owns the place where they're shooting, and they're kind of shooting this, what do you call it, discreetly. So the couple doesn't really realize what's going on. Apparently there's like a hint that things get worse at night, and there's something wrong with the wife, and things take a weird turn. And I'm trying to not provide any specific details, of course, but it's got Mia Goth, it's got Kid Cudi, Jenny Ortega. It looks really, really good. Like I've been a huge fan of Ty West, and like I said, just super excited for this one. And the nice thing is, like, before this week, I didn't necessarily know when it was going to be coming out. They did film it last year, and so I anticipated we'd be seeing it. But again, dates keep shifting. Hey, maybe this date will still shift. We saw Green Knight kind of move around. But my hope is that and again, it's likely a theatrical release, so maybe I'll be seeing it in April. That's my hope.
Yeah, I just at your bequest, I watched it right before we started recording, and yeah, holy shit, I'm 150% on board as well. The ironic thing, I think, is you were saying that all of Ty West's movies before this were A24 films, and now he gets to make one. And I think the ironic thing is that now that he's making an A24 film, it doesn't feel like an A24 film. It feels like an upbeat, fun roller coaster kind of spook show, which is, something fast paced and something that more of a mass audience would like. It seems to have a certain, like just a slightly wider, more open appeal to it than you normally get from a Ty West movie. Again, it's just a trailer, but that's kind of the vibe that I'm picking up.
Yeah, I love that. Where I guess he's using the phrase like it feels like an A24 film. I love that because I love A24 films. I love that, and it's so true. Like it doesn't really have that like feel, like it's even though that's a good thing to me, I'm sure to both of you, but like
it feels more Spectre Vision than A24.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because it's in some cases, people think that A24 has a specific aesthetic, and I think but I think what it comes down to be perfectly honest, is that they're very creator friendly. And when you give people the opportunity to make the movie they want without a lot of interference, you get movies that feel different. You get movies that look different. They have different pacing. They have a different style, and they have a different audience. And I like that A24 continues to take chances. And like I said, this seems to be another, like I said, hopefully another hit for both them and for Ty West. But I'll be watching this the first day I'm able to.
Yeah, I'm so excited for him. He's one of the few directors that I really look forward to their movies. Like it's very like specifically them. Like it's not even, because most of the time I'm attracted to like, the story. Like I just kind of go that way, like, oh, that seems interesting or that looks cool. But then there are some films where I like don't really care so much. It's just really the director. And like James Wan is another one like that. So like good for Ty West. I'm very happy for him. So you said this is This is coming out in April, perhaps?
It's coming out in March, but I think
March.
because of, but that's in theaters. So again, for people who aren't able to go, or if things move, right? Because with COVID, we are seeing some changes in release. If it holds its theatrical release, hopefully we get a VOD release within a month. So I'm hoping April, but again, TBD on that. I think the interesting thing, with Ty West and why he was so important as a filmmaker was, and to me specifically was like, it was really exciting and like a breath of fresh air to see The House of the Devil and The Innkeepers. And it's like, people weren't making movies like that. That he kind of ushered in that like slow burn movie. And then, and in some cases we're using what are buzzwords now, but they weren't then. Right. And it was just the approach that he took towards it, and was decidedly different. And you also have to remember that, what was this, 13 years ago or so, the output from, the genre output isn't what it is today, where we practically have, again, like I said, where we have, an amazing movie or show or book that's kind of coming out every month or seemingly every week. It's like, it's there were a handful of gems, in a year in some cases. And so I really looked forward to him and to what he released. So excited to see him back with this.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure, I mean, I haven't heard anything, so I'm pretty sure like the theaters will be like still open by then.
I honestly don't think we're going to know exactly. We're seeing some things close down. It's not that theaters would close necessarily. And again, it's all speculation on my part, of course, but we were seeing, somewhere in the neighborhood of 200,000 infections per day. When I had checked, this past Monday, it was, about 1.4 million. And so that stuff's going to impact, we're seeing school closures, and we're seeing people rightfully cancel events. Sundance has gone all virtual, and then other events are following. So we may see, movies move out as well. So I don't know for certain that's going to, but just like I said, a feeling, and then a call out to our listeners that, these dates that we're giving are subject to change. There is one movie we will be discussing that already proactively moved from its original date that was supposed to be early this year, and now they're out to middle of the year. So could certainly happen with a lot of these movies we're talking about.
This is the TBD episode.
Yes.
Welcome to the TBD episode.
Yes,
folks.
exactly. TBD 2022. So just keep an eye out for these. I know. And hey, that's what I'm going to be doing, right? I'm going to be like, when can I get my hands on X? When can I get my hands on Scream on VOD? And you know what? And
it's like the old Famous Monsters magazine that just used to like, would hear a snatch of a title on the street and it would be printed in Famous Monsters. Coming next fall from Universal, starring blah, 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 blah. And then the movie never, ever happens. I love that stuff.
Oh, yeah. And, it's one of those things, too. We talked about this last week, is that now you have your theater release. You're like, what do you call it? Your like virtual cinema or like premium VOD release. Then you have your rental VOD, your buy VOD, your 4K, your Blu-ray, your DVD. And in some cases, they're all different dates. And now these dates are shifting. So it is very, very difficult for, I can imagine for a general audience member or horror fan to say, hey, when am I actually going to be able to see this thing? And just know that it's the same questions that we're asking of ourselves or asking of these movies as well. It's like, well, maybe I'll be seeing it in April.
Not only will we not give you misinformation, we will give you no information at all. So you're covered. Don't worry.
You heard it from Scott. And speaking of, we're going back to Scotty Poo. And, what's another release that you are looking forward to this year?
Let's go with The Black Phone, directed by Scott Derrickson, written by Scott Derrickson and C. Robert Cargill. They've been working together as writers, director for quite some time, dating back to Sinister, or even before, possibly, that they've done Doctor Strange. And now they are here adapting a Joe Hill short story called The Black Phone. And it is essentially about a character played by Ethan Hawke called the Grabber, who is a serial killer of children, I believe. One little boy that he kidnaps ends up communicating with past kids who have died there through a black phone located in the room that he's trapped in. And these kids are his only way to get out alive. This is a film that I believe it was playing the circuit last year to very good reviews, some very good reviews.
Including from Heather, who raved about this one as well.
That's right. Exactly. Heather raved about it as well. So, it's one of those ones that, again, you have to have a little patience for, because all the buzz about it came last year. And now that's died down. You have to remember that these movies are still coming out, and the majority of us, including, myself and many, many others, haven't seen these films yet. We got to remind people that stuff like this is coming out, and I don't know the exact date on this one.
I do. It's June 24th, but this was the movie that I alluded to when I was talking about dates moving, because originally it was going to come out at the end of January and then early February, and then it got moved to June 24th. Now, in some cases, it might have been because of, worry about COVID, but I would also argue that they were so confident that it was going to do well, they moved it to June, which we actually saw The Conjuring, the first one that happened, and kind of kicked off summer horror movies again, because Warner Brothers was so confident that The Conjuring was going to be a big movie for them.
Yeah.
People will consider January a dump month, and while I disagree with that, it is harder to have a big theatrical release, and so I think they're hoping that it's going to make a splash in June. Everything I hear is that this is the movie to beat. That this movie is that good that this is going to be the one. This is going to be the one, like, naturally making it to people's top spots when we look back at everything that came out in 2022. So I'm super excited for this one, and of course it's another Blumhouse production. And like I said, always excited to see what this creative team is up to, and to see move away from Doctor Strange and right back to horror at a smaller budget, and very what do you call it, R-rated horror at that. Like, I'm excited.
I love that Ethan Hawke, I feel like, has been making a lot of horror movies, as of late. I always find that interesting, like, to watch an actor's, like, evolution over time, and like what they gravitate to and what they end up doing the most, like, like where they find, like, I don't know if he's a horror fan, but it just feels like that, like he feels like one of us, because he's been doing, like, since like Sinister, like he comes up a lot, and him and sorry and Kevin Bacon, I feel like he makes a lot of horror movies too now, and I really like him, and I think he's a really like really good, like, emotional actor. So, and I don't think I've ever seen him play like a character like this. So I'm really interested. In June, I really hope, because I don't really, I don't go to I think I went to the theater like one time since everything. So I think it would be really nice maybe for like this, or maybe like the Batman or something, to be like my, like, movie theater experience. Like, I'm super interested. I'm writing down all of these movies. So I'm gonna like watch No, I'm gonna avoid the trailers.
You just have to
Avoid
listen to the
trailers,
episode again. Just, you can just go back and listen and go, right.
You know, you're such a good salesperson, Scotty Poo. Like I could just do that. Just fast forward. You know, like,
Exactly.
black phone, boop, 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 and then listen.
There you go. This reminds me the premise of this. This reminds me of that Twilight Zone episode where the boy could talk to his grandmother on the phone. You ever see that one, Scott?
I don't know if I have or not.
Yeah, it's anyway, it's a good one, and so yeah, it definitely, and it was grandmother passes away, had a it was a big part of her grandson's life, and is reaching out to him, trying to get him to like come over to her side, and the family has to kind of convince her to like let him live his own life.
Nice. Nice. Now, Heather will kill me if I get this wrong. So I'll ask. If you guys have the answer right, then we're safe. The Mask, designed by Tom Savini, correct?
I'm 99% because I've seen him with it.
I love that. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm locking that in as my answer on your behalf, I guess.
Locking that in as my answer.
I mean, I'll take the heat if we're wrong, but I'm with Jonathan, like 99% Tom Savini.
Yeah, I mean, I already have a lot of bets going on with you, so what's one more? It's okay. I can't lose, or I'll be in debt.
Anyway, I guess my point of that is The Mask is fantastic. Everything top to bottom across the line. The pedigree on this is amazing. And like you said, we've heard nothing but great things about it. So yeah, June, you say. All right, I'll be there.
June 24th.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay. So you were both correct. It is Tom Savini.
Yep, that's what I thought. We survived that one.
We survived.
Tamika, we are going to move it over to you now. It's your second pick. What do you got for us?
If I said Tom Berman, Heather's head would have exploded.
No, don't do that to my Heather. No, but I'm so stuck on that Mask now. Oh God, I don't like. It's creepy. Wait, what was I gonna say? Oh,
it's your 2022 pick, or you could just pass. You could be like, just pass.
Pass.
No, sorry. I was like stun locked on The Mask because I was looking that up.
I honestly do want to see somebody do that. By the way, though, I want us to do our like a round robin episode, and I just want someone to be like, no,
I just want to pass the whole time. I'm just gonna listen.
Like, no, let's shoot it on over to Jonathan. What was my? Oh yeah, so. Okay, I feel like we have a lot of like legacy franchise discussion, so let's just keep going with it. So it's called Evil Dead Rise, right?
Yeah.
It's not the Evil Dead, right? It's Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise.
No colon, Evil Dead colon Rise.
Nope, just Evil Dead Rise.
Boom. Okay, look at me go. But yeah, I was reading about this movie before we started the podcast, and I like genuinely was so hyped, like just reading about Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell being involved, because I love that. I can't help myself, I guess. I'm a bleeding heart. I don't like to see people be basically like kicked out of their own like ideas. Not kicked out. I don't even know if they are kicked out, but like, I just don't like it. There's something in my just like soul, just makes me sad. I'm like, no, it's their idea. So like they should, like be able to keep going with it or pass it on to someone else. So with the two of them involved, I know that this is going to be something like really, really special. And I haven't said that in a while. And it just felt nice to say that just now. Like this and Scream. Like I'm just genuinely happy to be happy about um, a movie, a TV show, anything. So
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I feel really, really good
It's
about this.
good. It's like you said, it's good to feel good about something. There ain't nothing
Yes,
wrong with that.
it's good to feel good. And I'm so pumped for this. And this is another franchise that I really think has been very consistent. And I love and I miss the TV show, the television series. So I don't, but I'm not sure about, any sort of like continuity. Because again, I'm trying to stay away from like any specific,
And I
like
honestly,
really, really.
I don't think there's enough details on this one right now to even
Okay.
tell where it's at. And for the
Okay.
continuity, I always even argue that the 2013 movie's canon. And because when I've heard it, I've heard as much. So,
Mhm.
you can then, and if you feel the other way, that's fine too. But like I said, it's because, and especially because it kind of deals with time travel and stuff like that. The
Mhm.
series does. You could always say that all of this connects in one way or another.
Yeah, Deadites got to get killed. It's pertinent. So I know it's going to be like, I do hope that it's like all of the movies. They just have the same, I guess, like, I really enjoy like the vibe, I guess, and like the atmosphere of the films. Like there is kind of like a campy feel to them. So I do hope there'll be a lot of that. Like it won't be something like super self serious. I don't
You
know.
know what? I'm curious as well. I don't know, because we saw 2013, which was super serious, and I mean in the original
Yeah.
Evil Dead, even though by today's standards, a lot of people might consider it, campy or more comedic. I mean, it was supposed to be a straight horror movie. There was nothing meant to be comedic about the original, and so
Oh.
what I do like about the series is they are able to kind of do a little bit of everything. It could be serious horror, it could be a little campier, they could take it to a new setting, a new time, and
Mhm.
I love that
it all
show.
works. Yeah,
I
the
know.
show was great. I mean, we got more Ash in that show than we did in all the movies combined, so I'm thankful we got what we got. But
Yep.
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, and for this one, just to catch everybody up on it, at least is what I know about it is I know that it's taking place in an apartment in Los Angeles, an apartment complex.
In a high rise, as it
Yeah.
were.
And that's kind of where the title comes from. And so we are going to see, what I expect to see is kind of they uncover the Book of the Dead, and then we see it run through this high rise in this apartment, and people who have to survive that and what that looks like. And so yeah, it's going to be out HBO Max. There's no specific date. We just know that it's planned for this year. HBO Max has the rights to distribute it. And so we will see it. I don't think it's going to get a theatrical release and an HBO Max release. Similar to Netflix, HBO Max is doing some of their own Max exclusives. This appears to be one of those, but again, TBD.
Good decision. Good decision, HBO.
You know,
Warner Brothers.
when I was a kid, we had an empty bookshelf in our den, and I used to take my little action figures, like the 2-inch tall ones, and I would spread them out on the different levels of the shelves, and I would then have my guy, and then I would pretend they were monsters, and I had to like get by them to get down to the next level, to get down to the next level, to get out of the building. So I'm hoping the movie is like that, because that was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. If it was as fun as I had as a kid doing that on a shelf, that's all I ask.
Yes. Yeah. I feel it. I feel it in my bones, Scotty Poo. Yeah. You're gonna have some childhood fun. And like each, or maybe like Snowpiercer, like each train car, it's like a different experience, a different level, maybe there's like a different like danger or something,
Sure.
like as you like go up the floors or down.
I was probably ripping off Game of Death when I was a kid, having seen it at the drive-in as a little kid, but it's the same concept, really.
Yeah. and that's cool, and it's fun. It's like
It's the raid.
Yeah.
yes, true.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
we'll see, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. So yeah, this is. I mean, this is probably this isn't. I don't know. This is one of my most anticipated movies. And that's the problem with this year, and it's a good thing. There's so many good ones. I'm like, is it? And then I'm like, oh, well, then we have Batman, but then we also have X, and then we also have all this. I'm looking at here, and I'm like,
Mhm.
we have Black Phone. So no, it's just there's a whole bunch of great movies on the way. So hopefully maybe HBO Max will be like, they'll be like, oh, well, we're not releasing movies day and date anymore, and we need more subscribers, so we'll release Evil Dead tomorrow. No, or next week.
Right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something?
I don't know. It's a new frontier, and they're going to try everything until they come up with a formula that
That
sticks,
works for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
that works, that sticks the most, especially for them and somewhat for consumers.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. And also looking at the production of the movie, just to be, what do you call it? Candid about it. I don't believe they're finished yet. I believe like they finished filming, but I don't think the movie's 100% done. Again, speculation just based on what I've seen from Lee Cronin, the director, and others. I would imagine they're still working through putting the full movie together. And so hopefully, I anticipate rather that we'll see it later this year, maybe more of a Halloween thing. But you could release it tomorrow if it's ready.
Right? I'm just saying.
I wouldn't complain.
Putting the feelers out there.
Yeah, I'm just putting it out into the world.
Putting it out into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
I remember one time when I was about 19, and in our group of friends, there was this girl. She was so nice. She worked with me at a coffee shop deli, I swear to God. And we were walking, we were all, and she was sweet, but she was, bless her, the sweetest soul. She wasn't a very bright person, but so we're walking to the bar and we're talking about who's playing at the bar that night. And someone says, does anyone know who's playing tonight? And she says, oh, I know. And they said, who? We said, who? And she said, TBD. I've never heard of them before.
Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe some band has already done that, and hopefully they've taken advantage of that.
Sounded funnier in my head.
I was laughing
over the airwaves.
No, I mean, I assume people are laughing. The lack of the what do you call it?
I apologize, world. I apologize.
I laughed more at that, but no, I wasn't. It was more of like what do you call it? It was more of like a dad joke or like a popsicle stick laugh.
Oh my God.
A pop joke. Pop.
Is that wrong though? Like, I don't consider that a bad thing. It's just like it's a category of
yeah, no, it's a category already.
Now I have a pain in my side.
It's 1 foot in the grave category.
Ooh.
That popsicle stick is made out of pine, you see.
Oh, I can't take that back. I can't. It's locked.
It's out there.
It's out there. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get us out of this. I'm gonna pick. I don't know what I'm gonna pick. I don't know.
Do it.
Let's talk about the Batman. Let's talk about the Batman.
You know what? I was going to, and I'm excited for it, but then like everyone's like, we know Batman's coming out, Jonathan. Like we know. Like, do we need you to talk about it? I will save it, and I will talk about it.
Okay.
Months after it comes out, because I probably won't see it in theaters. No, so I'm skipping it. Yeah, I'm
all right.
Pulling audible. I am going to talk about because we're talking about movies that are coming up that you may want to keep on your radar. You may not be aware that they even exist. You may not be aware they're coming out in 2022, and that is a new Predator movie called Prey.
What?
Oh.
Exactly. You heard me right there. It's a new Predator movie. and it's by Dan Trachtenberg, who did and I loved it. I know a lot of people did 10 Cloverfield Lane, and
Yeah.
he's kind of been stealthily working on Prey, which is it involves a Comanche warrior, and she's protecting her tribe against a predator. That is the log line, and we don't have many more details about that. I don't know how. I guess true they're going to keep it to the time. I don't know, how much is going to be from the Warriors' point of view versus the Predators. We know that things kind of switched, especially when it comes to the 2018 The Predator. So there's a lot that we don't know. But I am, I wanted to get sci-fi on this list. And no, so I'm super excited for this. I mean, I've always been a huge fan of the Predator series. I guess it's like, it's funny because like the Predator and Alien movies for me are kind of like, maybe like Halloween is for like a lot of other people, which is like, even if it's, the series may be up and down at different times, like you're still on board, you're still excited for a new release. And so, I mean, the original Predators, I mean, obviously still the best one, but it's like, we get various, quality, but either way, I'm still
have to explain yourself. It's okay.
Yeah, I know. You know what? It's the same thing with like Hellraiser. Eventually, though, I want to say eventually we're gonna get a win, right? Eventually, the people that like the Predator movies, the Alien movies, the Hellraiser movies, like we're owed a win at this point. And so we do have, and I'm sneaking another pick in. There is David Bruckner's Hellraiser is coming out this year as well, and it's going to be out on Hulu, and Prey is going to be doing the same thing. We don't know exactly what the date is. We know it is going to drop this year, and I'm super excited to see where they're going to go with it.
So Predator.
I'm with you as well. So Prey, it's called Prey. So I'm on board for that. 100%. Like you said, it's a franchise that has had its up and downs, but what franchise hasn't? I mean, we were just talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise, and I think Predator, has a lot in common with that series. As much as sometimes they try to, mold some continuity together with Gorilla Glue and duct tape, it doesn't necessarily work, but yet we still show up and we want to see what they're going to do this time with it. This is, I think, probably the most interesting Predator idea since the original. So that has me excited.
Yeah, I mean, so you have this character who, and apparently, like I said, is that we'll see this, this Comanche woman who, becomes a warrior herself, and I don't know if she becomes a warrior and then takes on, the Predator, if she becomes a warrior because she takes on the Predator, has to fight another one. We don't know if there's multiple, creatures she has to fight off. If it's one, again, there's a lot that's not known about this. Like I said, but they're taking it in an interesting direction. I would rather see people like creatively go for something different, even if it's not 100% successful. I'd rather them kind of swing for the fences and, give us something that's different.
Yeah, totally. And you know what, even if it's a crappy movie, and of course I hope it's a great movie, let's have some solid Indigenous representation on screen. If we're going to do, especially if they're doing it, well, not especially if they're doing it at any time, but it's just, it'd be nice if it was done with respect and honor and some truth to it, and all that will do is make you focus on the rest of the movie and not worry about that.
Yeah, and I can't say, how much, like I said, true to life it's going to be. But what I do know is, at least on the casting side, that they seem to have gotten things right, and they cast Amber Midthunder, and she, of course, is Native American, and if the name sounds familiar, maybe because you saw her in Legion, and the Legion TV series that was on FX, and she was really great in that, and so just kind of seeing what she did with that character there, and she was a badass, that she's easily going to be able to handle whatever they throw at her in this.
Oh, that's
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah, that is sweet. Oh, see, you got some. Well, is Legion really considered sci-fi? I was gonna say, see, you had some sci-fi.
It's comic book and sci-fi. Oh yeah, I always manage to get a little comic book, a little sci-fi.
See, you've done it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exciting.
He keeps the lights on, Tamika. He can talk about whatever he wants.
I think it's the really luscious hair. That's where the power
Is that what it is?
That's where my power comes from these days. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah. For anybody that's seen my picture in previous years, or my picture on the staff page now, I mean, my hair is now down to it's down past my shoulders. I haven't cut it since lockdown started.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the
hippie
shade.
Good conditioner situation. It's very flowy.
It is, yeah. I now I look like a Victorian vampire, so it's great.
Yes.
There you go. You're moving into your interview with a vampire phase.
Yeah, well, they have the new TV show, so I feel like I could just show up and be like, cast me.
Jonathan.
Yeah, exactly.
Jonathan. Wait. So that wasn't on. Wait, is that going to be released this year in 2022?
That's a good question. I know they're filming it. I think they would, again, everything's TBD. Who knows production schedules, right? But
this show is a wealth of information.
They could be ready for this year.
We could have just we could put something on our homepage with just the list of the movies.
Well, here's the good thing about this, right? Scream is definitely going to be out, and Texas Chainsaw is definitely going to be out.
Yes.
So 2 of the 6 are definitely going to be out. But no, I mean, it's tough times out there. Sometimes it's hard to pull together an episode, let alone make sure we got our dates. What do you call it? Dates correct from the studios. But yeah, right now all they have, all they're telling us is sometime in 2022 you're going to see a Hellraiser movie, you're going to see a Predator movie, and an Evil Dead movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. We'll be right there covering it for you.
And with the Daily vampire. Dead. Oh, that would be so that would be so exciting. With LaJonathan, nobody else.
There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm going to pitch. That's going to be on my business card moving forward.
Okay.
Please.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone. Hashtag we got to find if like the production team or like the writers or something have a Twitter, and then we tweet to them hashtag LaJonathan.
There you go. That's it.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. Okay.
We need 8 by 10 too, as well.
Yeah.
Okay, well, with that, this episode has come to a close, and I want to thank my co-host. It's great to talk to you, Tamika. We haven't seen you in a little bit. I mean, I haven't seen you in forever, but we haven't talked to you in a little bit, and so we're happy to have you on the episode, and I'm glad we got to catch up a little bit. And Scotty Poo, you too.
Yeah.
Scotty Poo.
Oh, no.
So thanks for hanging out. I hope our listeners enjoyed our picks. We'll have more. There's so much we're looking forward to in 2022. But if you're looking for some details now on Scream, head over to Daily Dead. We have some interviews. We have Heather's review. You want to learn a little bit more about the Black Phone. Her review is there as well. And then, of course, as we're looking into February and beyond, we will have more coverage on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We will have coverage on Ty West's X. and much more. So definitely head over to dailydead.com for all of that. And of course, as we see these movies, we'll be talking about them on Corpse Club. We also want to thank Brian, our engineer, for helping us out every episode. And as always, and most importantly, we want to thank our listeners, including those of you who have signed up for a Corpse Club membership. Remember, you can head to corpseclub.com to listen to our latest episode, our entire backlog of episodes. You can sign up to become a member. We have a Corpse Club membership card, a pin, a t-shirt. At certain membership levels, you can pick an episode topic. And so make sure to check it out. If you haven't already, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Every rating and review really helps. So if you haven't done it, we'd appreciate it. You can also find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon, and your favorite podcast providers. If you want to get in touch, you can reach out anytime. We're at contact@corpseclub.com. We'd love to hear from you. On Twitter, we're at Daily Dead News, and we're at Corpse Club. And on Instagram and Facebook, we're under Corpse Club as well. Thanks again for listening. And until next time, stay scary.